Thank you everyone for joining us. We have Dave Roberts now available. If you have a question, please use the raise your hand icon. First question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Dave, a little unique schedule this year with the extra day off in the best of 5 series. How does that change your pitching strategy? What options does it open?
I think it's beneficial. Obviously, getting Blake on his regular rest. I think with the guys that we used out of the pen yesterday, they're all back online outside of Glass now. So I think that we kind of reset, and I feel good with obviously Snell going tomorrow and kind of having whoever we want to deploy behind him.
Does it free you up with Roki in particular, since this is his first experience trying to bounce back, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, whatever it is?
No, well, actually, we did that. Fortunately, that was something we did intentionally. Towards the end of this season, we got him a 2 out of 3, and so we've kind of checked that box. So I feel good. If needed, we could use him tomorrow night as well.
Well, I asked you last night. I'll ask you again. Can we call him your closer?
I think that he's earned. I just don't want to be, pigeonholed into the ninth because, with the way this lineup is constructed, there could be different ways where the eighth could kind of present itself, where he could be the best option. But I do consider him one of our, top highest leverage relievers for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is from Sonia Chen. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. How did Will come away from catching the end of the game last night?
He's here right now getting treatment, going to go through the workout. I haven't talked to him today yet. He's going to go out there and take batting practice. And so once I kind of, have the conversation, talk to the trainers, watch him go through his work, then I'll have a better idea. But I think even, making the decision tomorrow, whether he's in the starting lineup or not, is going to not be until tomorrow, kind of late morning, once I, hear from him and hear how he feels.
Do you think there could be some value in, possibly Ben continuing to start some games and Will coming in to pinch hit and then staying in to kind of manage the workload as he eases back into action here?
Absolutely. He hasn't had the normal buildup as far as getting his legs back and catching and all that kind of stuff that he normally would, coming back from an injury. And so to then you layer in the intensity of the postseason, the games are a little bit longer, all that. So, to have him catch 4 innings and then to potentially run that same playbook, certainly there's value to that. But if he says that he feels great, there's no, remnants of game 1, it might be hard for me not to kind of pencil him in. But yeah, certainly, Sonya, there's potential upside and just kind of have him catch 4 to 5 innings.
Cool. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from Kirsten Watson. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. I know we've talked about just with Roki Sasaki and how these big moments, they don't necessarily faze him, but was there anything maybe that you learned about him just last night, be in the atmosphere here in Philadelphia, and how he was able just to kind of manage himself and his emotions on the mound?
Yeah. We saw him pitch, in leverage as a reliever. Then we saw him go on the road. Then we saw him give up, a double in Seattle. Seattle responded to kind of getting hit to have a guy on base. To then, be thrust into on the road in a save situation, give up a double, and how he continued to attack the zone, get the grounder, get the pop up. was very valuable information. Not surprising from, I don't think, any of us, but it was still good to see that. Yeah, you know, I just felt confident in him that he'd be able to handle his emotions in any circumstance, but I think it makes us all feel better once you see, you know, him in certain spots and how he responds.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from Jack Harris. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey Dave, why do you think you guys had so much success against the top of their lineup yesterday, and how do you kind of sustain that moving forward in this series?
I thought yesterday, Shohei did a fantastic job of moving the ball around. You've got to kind of change locations. You've got to use the front to back. I thought his curveball was as good as I've seen it. But you have to have these guys honor the fastball. They hunt locations, they hunt velocities, and you've got to keep them guessing. You just can't be predictable. And I thought yesterday we did a fantastic job of not being predictable. And I thought Tyler did the same thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is from Bill Shaken. Go ahead, Bill.
Dave, with Clayton, do you see him as pretty much if a starter gets knocked out earlier, if the game goes extra innings, or do you have something else in mind?
I think those scenarios certainly, you know, play into, you know, one, you know, two potential uses of Clayton. But I also, I trust him. I just think that there's other opportunities that he might have to pitch. But I also do feel that there's other guys that I feel in certain, whether it's lanes or spots, that I feel, you know, more comfortable with. But it's not a slight on Clayton, but I do think that there's various roles, up, down, early, late, that I could use him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is from Fabiano Ardaya. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, just to kind of follow up on Jack's question about facing the top of their order, is there a lesson that you guys can sort of take from just how aggressive you guys were in zone against those guys and how effective that could be with the stuff that you guys have?
Yeah, I think that, you know, like we've talked about, our two teams are very similar. We mirror one another. And, you know, speaking on the offensive side, I think that when pitchers nibble and get behind, try to be too fine, that's where offenses like ours and theirs feast. And so you've got to go at these guys and attack them in the strike zone. Once they get count leverage, they get better, even better than most hitters do. So, yeah, I think if you look at last night, first pitch strike, you know, whether it's, you know, with the breaking ball, a fastball, you know, going after these guys certainly is beneficial, yes.
And then with Tyler, would he be still online to pitch game 4 just with the rest that he'll have between that? And is there any temptation to, like, if there's a situation in game 3, keeping him in the pen, if that's the sort of a spot to kind of close the series out right there?
He's still online for game 4. As I sit here right now, coming out of the pen, the rest of this series is not, you know, on my radar. But you just never know how things play out. But, you know, having him lined up for game 4 is kind of where we're at.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from Nayuki.
Hi, Dave. Shohei struck out 4 times yesterday. How did you see his swing last night?
I just thought that Sanchez was really good with the sinker, with the changeup. Then, you know, he faced Strom, who made some good pitches on him, and then, you know, got the walk. But I just thought that, you know, he was chasing out of the zone, and then when he was taking strikes. So it was just a kind of a bad combination, just a bad night. expect him to be better in game 2.
Any concern about another lefty tomorrow? You don't have any concern
About what?
another lefty tomorrow?
No concern. No concern.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions for Dave? All right, go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Dave, just to follow up on that, did you feel like yesterday, just the pitching, I know you talked about how well Ohtani compartmentalizes stuff, but did you feel like yesterday the amount of focus that went into the pitching maybe took away from some, especially those like early at bats in the game, or did you look at those as kind of separate situations?
I think, Sanchez was really good, but I do think that on days that Shohei pitches, a large amount of the focus is on the pitching, and which I understand, but I think that, last night in particular, yeah, I know Sanchez was good, but yeah, kind of trying to weather that 3-run inning and kind of stay in there on the pitching side, I'm sure has some kind of, bleed into effect on the bat. But Sanchez was really good though, regardless.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.